And like I said, there's no type of like rhythm to this order other than just presenting people as they are. No preference here. Let's start off with Sim.
Yes, yes. So what's going on, man? First time YouTube. I've only been here for like a short time, but I'm just trying to see what's up. And yeah, man. Nintendo fan here. Just trying to really just enter into the community, really to see what I can add, contribute, and yeah, man, just be part of something big.
By the way, this guy is a master at banners. If you need banners done, go to him. Just make sure you got some change in your pocket when you do so.
Sweet, man. That's sweet, man. I like that promotion, man. That's sweet, man. That's decent, man.
There you go. Hey, that's how I do, man.
No, it's good, man.
All right, coming up next, okay, who we got here? We got ourselves Trey. Trey, another guy representing, across the pond over there, across the Atlantic. Do your thing. Spit it.
What's going on, guys? You hopefully you know what time it is. It's your crazy British gamer here, and I'm joining this podcast to kick some ass and also to have fun and meet some new people.
Good man.
Good man. Met him on a call once over there, and he's an awesome dude. Like hanging with this dude. He's awesome. Now, we're going to sit up here and kick it off with everybody's favorite troll bashing man out of all these people. Let's start the show with him, fools. Come on, fools.
Who, me, fools?
Yes, you fools.
All right, fools. Thank you very much, Quan Manchu.
Alrighty.
It's Mr. T here from the Mr. T Show.
Well,
and of course I'm a huge Nintendo fan, but I play on all consoles. Nintendo is my number one.
There you go. It's always nice to have a number one. Can I ask you a question? Whatever happened to the rest of the guys, Mr. Baracus?
Well, actually, you'll be seeing them return pretty soon in my 500 subs episode, my celebration episode. So you'll be seeing boys coming back from the 80s and a couple of other people you might recognize from the 80s as well.
Oh, hey, can we have that little kid with the dog from the cartoon show? That'd be awesome.
No, he can't do that. No.
Oh yeah, I forgot. Teen actor from the actor from the 80s. There was a kid actor. Oh yeah, that tends to be tragic.
Yeah. They get no love. They get no love when they get big. They start looking weird and stuff.
Yeah, they go all Bonaducci on you. All right, we're gonna go over here with Jay. Jay, say your thing. Do your thing.
What's up, everybody? Episode 4, we're back again. Looking forward to this one. Other than that, I got nothing. Seriously.
Yeah. Oh, come on, darling, you're special. All right?
I like that. Pure but sweet, man. I like that.
All right, now we're going to flip it on back to the middle, and we're going to go with a guy who's being distracted by copious amounts of cleavage. You already know who you are. That's if he's awake.
Does he even have his pants on?
I'm here. I'm just sorry.
Stop slapping blood.
It's digital cleavage. It's digital.
Okay, let's keep it PG-13 now.
What's up, everybody? It's GamerNate78 coming at you in this podcast.
I hope not.
Wait, I just got that. That's terrible.
Everybody that has stood by me, we're going to talk about that subject a little bit later. I just want to give a shout out to all my subs, all my friends. Peace. Hello, everybody.
And if he's distracted, we already know why, because of Tiggold. You know what I'm saying? That Tiggold distracts him. You know what Tiggolds are, right?
No.
Tiggle bitties.
Hey.
Yeah.
I gotta admire the
We're keeping this PG.
I like that. That's good.
But that's still PG-13. That's not PG. Trust me. That's 13. That's not R.
Keep it clean now. Keep it clean.
Okay. All right. He wasn't PG, not 13. Okay, I got it. He's going. Okay, we got to go all like Firestarter now. Okay.
Oh, it just ignore me. All right, I see how it is.
No, you're coming next. Come on, we cannot forget you. You're the little me that could, aka Thumbprint, when you change your icon.
Yep.
Go for it, though. Go ahead for Thumbprint.
All right, I'm Jamie Butterworth, commentator extraordinaire. Don't piss me off, or I'll write you a freaking book.
Either that, or he'll sit up here and just paste you to the wall with some syrup.
I am of no relation to the syrup lady.
All right, now that we got all the intros out the way, we're going to start with a hot button topic, and we're going to go with the guy in the middle here. We're going to go over here with our boy who's being distracted at the moment. It's going to be your floor, but one more thing, dude. Calm down. I know, I know, I feel your pain, but just keep it calm, man. Keep it in control, okay? All right, go ahead, man. We already know he's gonna get emotional about this topic, so come on, let's help him. Support him one time.
Look, I just want to explain something to everybody. I don't hate Nintendo, not the least bit. I don't hate the Wii U, not the least bit. Believe it or not, trading that Wii U was the hardest thing that I ever did. But you know what? I'm a person that believes in taking a stand with my wallet. And if you look here, I only had about half these, about this much when I got my Wii, or when I went and traded and got my PS3. This is how much I've bought since then. Nintendo, if you want my money, you've got to treat me as an adult and with respect. If you're going to talk to me like a child on the phone, if you're going to stop me from putting something so simple as a Facebook name, a Twitter name, and a Google Plus name, and a YouTube name, then you know what? I'm going to let my money speak for me. This is what happens when you treat your customers that way. And that's all I'm getting at. I'm not trying to disrespect any of my fans. I'm not saying let my decision affect them. Because I will say again, the Wii U is a great system. But see, I'm a social person, and if I can't be my full self on a system that I play, then what's the point of me playing it? And that's just how I feel about it. My opinion, my choice. And that's all I got to say.
Now,
Bang bang.
along those lines, let me say something before anybody gets a chance. I want to jump in here. The only thing I disagree with you was selling it. You already know that. We already had this conversation at length. And the reason why I said that, now the reason that I said I disagree with the whole selling point is this. I know you. As soon as the good games come out, you're going to be coming back, and I know you're going to end up buying a new console. But
As soon as Part 2 comes out.
To Bayonetta. See? There he goes. He's holding Bayonetta 1 right there. See what I'm saying? You see my point, everybody? But the thing is, he's right in one sense. All of us here are adults. What sense does it make telling us that I cannot give Sim, Trey, T, Jamie, or Jay, or our boy over here, Nate, any of my social info? We're all adults here. What's the problem with that? I say restrict child to adult communications from doing that, but not adult to adult. Yeah. Child to child, keep it. Child to adult, restrict it. Adult to adult, keep it. That's it. It's that simple.
True. It's something so simple as as an adult, I ought to be able to take and go into my Miiverse settings and state by clicking an option. Do you want somebody that is represented as being under the age of 16 or 15 or 13 being able to see your post and see your profile? And I would go in there and click no. And without this even being an issue, I would go click no.
And the thing is,
I want to be able to take and play with adult gamers. It's the same thing that Xbox Live has. Xbox Live has different profiles that you can pick, whether it be pro, whether it be underground and stuff like that, and it tries to match you up with people that pick the same profile.
All right, what do you think about this subject, Mr. T?
Oh, me first? Okay. Well, let me preface this by saying I'm not the most internet savvy person, but I'm kind of old school that way. But I might be mistaken about this, but don't certain websites you go to restrict certain things about posting links or anything like that? And is that?
No, they do. But what I'm saying is a lot of them don't have a cost of admission of $300, though.
Right, I understand that, but I'm just saying that it may not just be the gist of it may not just be trying to protect children. They might want to protect, their reasons might be the same as a website deciding we don't want you posting links to other websites or to other things like that, because it could be spam or it could be, XXX nature or whatever, So
But
we
that's-
don't want you bringing your Burger King and McDonald's there.
No, but here's the thing, though. Concerning that, isn't that easy to check by looking at the profile and just looking at the person's page?
But you got to understand. I mean, that's resources. I mean, somebody has to sit there, or a bunch of people have to sit there and do that. You know. So
But there's the key. On the web version of Miiverse, whenever you go to the actual internet version of it, after you make a post through the web version, you can actually see underneath your post buttons for Facebook, buttons for Twitter, buttons for Google Plus, and buttons for Tumblr to be able to share what you just posted in Miiverse to those respective media social sites.
right. But I mean, they do that for that's just advertising for them. They're not doing that so you can link up all your Facebook and all those buddies to They want to advertise the Miiverse. They want to advertise the Wii U on those sites. Not vice versa.
But wouldn't you think this would make it easier if they were a little bit more permissive to adults and say, okay, as adults, you're adults, you can handle your own business. As adults, feel free to share this, and just make sure you tell people about Miiverse, and guess what?
No,
You got non-hostile people sharing the network.
I'm not disagreeing with that. I mean, even if you do have people who say they're adults, they still could be children. You know. So I'm not disagreeing with what you're saying. As I'm saying that we all know that Nintendo is slow to do certain things. They really just got into like real online with this console. So it could happen, but it's only gonna happen because fans request it happening. And my issue with Nate, it's not really an issue. Is like what you said. If they're certainly not gonna pay attention to people who aren't customers. You know what I'm saying? So if you're not a current customer, how effective will your argument be?
Well, believe it or not, the last person I talked to at Nintendo, he was very upset the fact that I traded my Wii U.
I believe that. But that's the individual person who works for them. Is what I'm saying. Does Nintendo feel that way? Is that policy going to change? Because
they will with people like Asda sitting up here refusing to sell their product.
All right, I'm sorry.
Every good movement starts with one voice. Think about Dr. Martin Luther King. He was one voice.
Had it been.
Look at the movement that he created. So, back in the 90s, like Quan brought up, the Play It Loud campaign. Back in the 90s, 1993, Nintendo was coming down real hard on not allowing certain types of games, certain stuff in games. They were being very censorship-like, and it all came to a head with the original release of Mortal Kombat on the Super Nintendo. Come the year 1994, the now deceased president starts up a new campaign to change Nintendo in a fundamental way, which was to become more acceptant and open in allowing of different types of games on their system. Now fast forward to 2013, 2012, 2013, and we're back to what they used to be. And now they're censoring.
Whoa. A lot of those policies came from Yamauchi. A lot of the strictness was because of Yamauchi.
Yeah, but Yamauchi changed all of that after a while when he saw it was affecting the bottom line.
When was this? Was he still president?
Howard Lincoln was the president of Nintendo of America at the time, and I think he was still currently the president up until the year 2000 and plus. So yeah, he was around at the time doing his thing when this change occurred. And since he was the head of Nintendo Japan, he approved the change. By the way, before we go any further, we would like to allow the Zen Gamer to introduce himself.
Mm.
Oh, Zen's in the house?
Yeah.
Hey guys, what's up?
Yes, good man.
Yeah, I'm a bit late today, just joining in. I'm not too sure what you guys are talking about, so I'm just going to be real quiet for the time being and catch up.
Quick recap.
We're talking about my epic flip-flop, as Francis would put it.
Oh, okay.
All right, now, who else wants to jump in and give their take on this whole Miiverse? Should it be strict against social networking from adults to adults or not? Now remember, the focus is not adult to child, mind you. It is adult to adult. In other words, we're not asking them to give full free-for-all here. We're asking for adults. And if people go any further and say, well, anybody can fake an age, well, I put it this way. At least they're legally covered if they do it the way I suggest. Just saying.
I mean, we should be able to promote anything we want to on our Miiverse profiles. I mean, that's personally ridiculous. I mean, I think Nate took it way too far because the unfortunate thing is he gave away his leverage. Yeah, I mean, there was that one employee that was upset by it, but at the same point, you gave away your leverage against Nintendo. I mean, I was a little upset by it, but I mean, I understood your reasoning. But I mean, the thing is, you have a voice, and that should be the very last option is actually giving your system away. I mean, you could have come to me because I like you, Nate, and I would have helped you written up a letter that we could have jammed up the ass of every single Nintendo employee that has a public email address. I mean, I had no problem doing that. It's just you got to take it to the right places. You got to just get the word out. And I mean, we're a little late on that now because we've got the petition out there I wrote for you guys, but. Still, you gave away your leverage, and you're exercising your voice a little late now. That's the only problem that I have. But, I mean, it is a policy that needs to be changed because it's ridiculous and restrictive.
Mm-hmm. And that's the point that I'm saying, that you can't, you can't restrict adult to adult. That's beyond nuts. Protect kids from other kids, protect kids from adults, but not adults from adults. Anywho, that's what we're talking about, Zen. How do you weigh in?
Do you know what? I kind of respect what Nate done, I mean, I was of two minds with what, I understand because sometimes Nintendo, and I've said this before, like, they can be quite frustrating in terms of, giving their policies, and I think in order to obviously to make yourself heard, you kind of, see now, yeah, I mean, it's quite a mixture. I mean, obviously when I heard about what you done, it was, at first I was thinking, oh, why did you give your Wii U, but in the end of the day, you are obviously a customer, and you are trying to obviously let them know why you've done it, and if they can really listen, hopefully they'll really take that seriously into consideration and maybe actually exercise and do something about it. I mean, it just takes one person to do something, then all of a sudden it will take another and another, and all of a sudden it will build, and Nintendo can't ignore that. I mean, you've got the power of YouTube. We can voice our opinion, and that's the power of letting them know what we don't like, and to really actually act upon things that restrict us. So I kind of agree with Nate in a sense. What he done, I don't know if I'll be brave enough to do the same myself, but yeah, it's a precarious one. It's a mixed bag with that one. Yeah. I think.
These things take time, these things take time. Think about how the Miiverse was when we first started. I mean, how many updates have we had, for them allowing us to do more and more and more. So, you got to be somewhat patient. I mean, this is Nintendo we're talking about here. You got to be kind of patient.
Hold on. I'm laughing because somebody didn't bring something nice for the rest of the class here. He knows what I'm talking about.
Drink a light nice.
Okay, we can't keep doing that too much because remember, this is going to be posted and it'll look like I'm advertising. That was not the real thing, okay? Yeah, wink. That was not the real thing.
On that note.
Go ahead, I'm going to cut in real quick. I just want to explain something, guys.
All right. I was going to introduce Fox, though, because Fox just jumped in, just as a courtesy.
Part of the, I'm not going to lie that, I was wanting to play this right here. Okay? It's the biggest game to come out this year. And I just
$2 billion.
not want to have to wait for the PC version to come out. And when that guy did what he did, I was like, F it. I just, you know what? I'm going to make a stand, and I'm going to have fun while I do it.
All right, but I have a very serious question.
So you have a PlayStation before?
Okay, here's my serious question for you. Why on earth did you get Grand Theft Auto 4 on PlayStation 3 when you have a $3,000 PC right there? I mean,
that was Grand Theft Auto 5, man.
No, but you downloaded Grand Theft, but you bought Grand Theft Auto 4, right?
No.
I know that's 5, but you also bought 4.
I bought 4 because number one, Grand Theft Auto 4 on the PC, no matter how strong a PC you got, it's a resource hog and a half. And I just wanted to be able to play it with it while it being smooth.
All right, guys. Seriously though, can we introduce Fox and then we can continue on?
Yeah, hi Fox.
Hello. I guess you guys can hear me. I would imagine.
Yes, we can. Go ahead, get your intro out.
Uh-oh.
My webcam on, guys.
Rainforest.
Yes, fuck.
Yeah, yeah, I'm having
Is
a
my
little bit
webcam
of
on?
issues here.
Yeah, I think so.
Alright.
Anyway,
Okay.
this Shadow Fox again, purevideogames.net. Yeah, I'm that guy again. I'm here.
Alrighty. Now, we're going to ask Zendo to continue on with the topic, and then we're going to go on to whoever else wants to jump in, and then after this, we're going to wrap this up and go on to the next topic of choice, and I'm going to point somebody out, and we go from there.
Okay, you want me to talk about what you guys were just discussing?
Yes, sir.
Okay, well, guess I'll just give my opinion. Well, it's basically going to mirror what everyone else has been saying or what I caught everyone else saying. I believe we just need to give them some time. We need to be a little patient with this. While I do agree that Nathan probably was justified in what he did, in fact, end up doing, I probably, if I were in his shoes, I would not have given up the console. I would have leveraged my channel to get the word out because maybe I'm a little bit conceited in saying this, but we are far from the average consumer, and we have access to other consumers. We can influence persons. So I would have did that. And if that failed, then probably as a last resort, I would have come to the same point that Nathan has. But in terms of Nintendo doing what they do, I mean, their Nintendo is, as Mr. T said, it's kind of not the correct answer, and we can't just sit down and let everything happen the way it is, because nothing will improve, nothing will change. But I think they need a little more time with this. This is a new venture for Nintendo. This is completely new ground for them. So maybe they just need a little more time to work things out. And if in a year or so, by the time the console really does get its legs, nothing has changed, then maybe we can revisit this in the future. I mean, that's my stance.
No, I agree, but I think it's going to be in less time than that because remember, we still have the fall update and we still have the unification of the accounts of 3DS and Wii U, which I believe you're going to see a lot more than just that because taking a good look at Monster Hunter and what they did there, something tells me there's going to be a lot more than just account unification. But that's a story for another time. Now, whoever else wants to jump in, one final word in that has not had a chance to touch on the subject, and then we'll move on. Who hasn't had a chance yet? I guess everybody's covered. So then we're going to move onward, and we're going to give last guy first. Go ahead, Fox. What do you got? A question for everybody here that you want to pose and have everybody discuss it?
This is kind of a. Everybody here probably knows that this is pretty much a loaded question, but who told you what the specs were for the Wii U and how did you get it? That's more of my question because I've had
some of us can talk about that and some of us cannot. I'll leave it like that.
Yeah, I've had way too many conversations with people that have decided to say, hey, well, you know, Wii U isn't the next generation console. I go to the situation, I say, okay, that's a great opinion. What brings you to that conclusion? Well, it's basically an Xbox 360, or is weaker than an Xbox 360. Then I ask them, why do you think that? This is what they tell me. The CPU is weaker than the Xbox 360. Then I ask them again, I say,
oh, man.
What makes you think the Wii U CPU is weaker than the Xbox 360?
Wait. Shots fired! Go ahead.
Yes, shots fired, right? So.
Hey, you said nobody bring him up. No shots
I did.
fired.
I just said shots fired, man. What? Oh, Lord. Somebody said
I've resolved conversations to go as far back to a little bit of information received a long time ago where somebody told that the clock rate was slower than Xbox 360's clock rate, which either way doesn't matter because hello, Xbox One and the PS4 have a clock rate way slower.
Right, exactly.
Than the Xbox 360.
No, clock rate has
3.2
nothing to
gigahertz.
do anything because here's
It's
the
the architecture.
The architecture. These folks,
I mean,
these
at this
folks.
point, I think it pretty much goes without saying that about 90% of the Wii U games out right now only use one core.
Okay, I got
Oh,
something
no
to say
doubt
real
about it. No
quick.
doubt about that.
Real quick, before you say anything, I'm just going to name 2 processors, and then I'm going to leave it at that. Time to flex my little CompTIA A+ muscles. Ready? Here we go. Pentium 4 at 3 gigahertz versus any modern Celeron at 1.6. Modern, meaning this gen. Which one's better?
Obviously, it would be the Celeron.
Oh, no, not according to these guys. Clock rate means everything. I rest my case.
This is the interesting thing to
Hey
me.
guys, I just had to make a video. 50 megahertz boost. Yay!
Yay!
It's 60 frames.
It's only 3.
Christ.
Look at that blade of grass over there. That look good.
Oh my God, the fish move out the way when you swim, even though they get in Donkey Kong Country.
I mean,
You know what I mean, man? But anyway, as I always say,
Bang,
1, 2, 3,
bang.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Oh, Lord.
You know what? To the people that say that the Wii U CPU is weaker than the 360 and PS3, I dare say that the Wii U CPU is stronger than the PS4 and Xbox One.
at least per core.
Well,
I can
per
tell you that right now. Per
very
core.
One
definitely.
core of the Wii U CPU equals at least, if not more, 2 cores of the Jaguars.
That's why they added it.
Simple.
They have their own dedicated cache for one.
Mm-hmm.
So the L1 is their dedicated. You have to share it throughout the 8 and the other.
Ow. Ow.
You both are PC tech type of guys.
My brain hurts.
Would you explain
Ow.
the architecture of how AMD makes an 8-core, please? Would you tell the world out there, these trolls that say this, please explain to them why an 8-core AMD is not truly an 8-core AMD?
Oh, Lord. The 8-core AMD.
Man, did you see Rise? Did you see Rise though with that 900p man?
No, but listen,
Fuck's sake,
listen.
man.
But listen though. Concerning the AMDs, remember, they cannot license the term hyper-threading. So the so-called cores that they have, when they say they're a 4-core, they actually mean 2, but with hyper-threading. When they say 8-core, they really mean 4, but with hyper-threading.
Pretty much.
So that's pretty much it. It's a marketing strategy. Even though, look, let me tell you something right now. In multi-threading tasks, such as video production and et cetera and whatnot, and CAD and whatnot, they're very good. But at single core operations, they tend to be very slow. AMD processors.
All right,
That's a fact.
But how many bits is that? Because Mr. T understand 8 bits, 16 bits,
64. 64 bits.
I'm lost after 64. No, that's it. I'm done. 64. I'm
They're
done.
Raise the
all
law.
weaker than the PS2 because the PS2 was a 128-bit CPU.
All right, I got you.
These are 64
Please alert
bits.
and
But what if I had 2 Nintendo
No, they're
64s?
weaker
I
because
put
of
them
the
together.
Duct tape.
Wow. After all, you know what kills me? It's like a non-mechanic talking shop.
Hold on a sec, guys.
I mean, that's what you gotta realize. You're dealing with.
Where's the
You're dealing with a
other
lot of
British guy
drones.
from?
Hold on. Let Mr. T say something here. Go
I
ahead.
just wanted to say real quick. You got to realize you're dealing with drones. A lot of these drones, they don't know what they're talking about. They just listen to their favorite YouTuber and what he say. So you can't take too much credence in what they say.
Well, you know the
Make
interesting
sure to
thing about a
rate,
drone.
comment, and subscribe.
Oh God. Oh Lord. Brought to you by Gamers Game, Every Media, and every single else.
Every meteor.
Skip it up and do that.
Capture.
And that is
I
a
like
cool
Rich now.
explosion of.
I'm messing around.
I like
Rich.
to play with myself in front of the mirror. Anyway, back to the fucking subject. Stop making these bitches laugh.
Go ahead, mate. But listen though, the funniest thing that when it comes to all of this, it's funny that you use the word drone. You know what a drone does?
Yeah, they're
Flies
high-
around, gets a quick screw, then dies.
Pretty much.
They have a high brain. You know, they do they're not instinctual. I guess they are instinctual. But
That's all they are.
They only have one, instinct. So they all have that same instinct. So you can't try to talk to them about other things.
So while these drones are busy humping on the legs of the trolls out there, and then dying off, because eventually they do, we're the ones who sit here and we think what we think and we play what we play. I have a bunch of games on my Steam account, Gamersgate account, Good Old Games account, Uplay account, Origin I play as well. I have, games from, several eras inside that Armoire in which I play consistently. My 3DS I don't have it because my mom jacked it from me. She still won't let me have it because she's got to finish Chrono Trigger DS.
Oh, that's cute.
My mom
I love my mom.
DS.
64 years old, bless her, she loves her RPGs, and she says she wants an RTS on there, full-blown RTS on the 3DS.
Mm.
My mom.
Wow.
That's nice, man. That's sweet.
I'm telling you, I'm going to interview my mom, by the way, and I'm going to put it on my channel.
Oh,
So you
careful,
can hear
man.
her-
Some of these guys are cannibals.
Oh yeah.
That's
Open that
okay. I
can
ain't
of
worried about
worms.
it. I ain't worried about it. I ain't worried about what these fools got to say. I ain't worried about these fools.
You gotta pay me a royalty when you use that.
No, that's okay. I can be your
You
stunt
can't be
double,
worried
fools.
about them because you pity them.
I pity these fools. I'll be your stunt double, fools.
Nah, seriously though, most of the conversations that I've had ended up dating back to really, really old information, and it just kind of took it as fact from there. Because somebody decided to say, oh well, this CPU is lower clock than the Xbox 360. People immediately jumped on the Wii U and said that. Now when the PS4 came out, when Sony came out with their information, and they kind of slid it under the door and said, yeah, this will be between 1.84 and 1.6 gigahertz, nobody said shit.
Mm-hmm.
Of course not.
Because it was interesting.
Because it wasn't Nintendo. That's what they say now.
It's just hilarious. It's hilarious to me. I don't understand this because 2 years ago it was Nintendo system is going to be weak because it won't be 2 teraflops and all the other systems will be. Then it was, oh, well, this CPU. Oh, where this GPU. Well, the CPU thing got kind of sketchy because people started finding out and they started thinking that it was going to be Power 7. So they started shutting up about the CPU until maybe a year ago.
Mm-hmm.
Then it ended up being the whole situation about teraflops again because they found out, or people have started adding up their own numbers about what they can recognize on the Wii U GPU and saying that it's only so many stream processors and therefore it's 500 teraflops or somewhere thereabout.
Until you mention the eDRAM, then they shut up.
Then they can't really confirm anything. So they go to the known numbers of the 720 and the PS4, and they're still not 2 teraflops. So obviously Unreal 4 is not going to work the way that Mark Rand wanted it to work. So still, it isn't really as next gen as it's been promised.
Do you know why those engines look so good when they do the tech demos? Do you know the whole reason why? To sell the engine, and that's it.
Exactly.
They optimize it for that one particular thing, and that's it. If you don't believe me, take a look at Unreal and all its iterations and every other engine. They gear it towards that one particular tech demo.
I believe you.
Gonna be fooled. I don't understand. How many times have these companies been doing this, especially Sony? Like Sony came in and with the PlayStation 1. Remember all the commercial for PlayStation 1? You'd always see like the CG trailer. You'd never see like the gameplay, the actual game.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it started with that, and then
don't forget
how
the
many of the
T-Rex
promises of the PS2 and the PS3 have been broken? I mean,
Can I just say something?
Go ahead.
Ducks.
Alright, hold on. Let me just get in the frame. Let me be like Martin right here. When the fuck did console gamers took all this RAM, all this stuff?
and that's what I'm doing a video on the exact same thing. When did console gamers become analysts and PC builders and I don't understand it. I don't get it.
I'll tell you when.
I do it because it's my job. And
I
therefore
did it because I'm retired.
That YouTube money?
There you go.
I mean, I do it at work, so I look at those and I'm like, well, there's another machine that can be highly optimized and programmed for, if you actually do it the way Nintendo built it for. Because obviously they programmed it to be easy for their developers to make games on.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's just common sense. Why else would they spend billions of dollars to make this happen? They're only in debt right now because they built this system.
I beg to differ though, because there's a certain console manufacturer that spent $100 million to make the same exact controller.
Oh,
We ensure that all of our staff are white.
You know what?
It's like the controller S from the original Xbox.
You know what Nintendo should have done?
You gotta rumble in the triggers, man.
Oh my God, rumbles in the triggers! Oh my God!
Oh my God.
Hey,
Now
Hey,
it's
you know
like
what?
It's
Sniper
curvier than a big pair of tits. you
Okay,
know.
hold on, guys,
Nate,
hold on. Okay, hold on a second. Let Fox go ahead real quick.
I just really I'm more frustrated with that whole situation more than anything else, and I've been that question has been brought to me multiple times, and I'm like, where are you getting this information from? I go to GameStop. There are people at GameStop that really don't even know this information. They're like, oh, well, it's just going to be another Nintendo weak platform because the Wii was weak. Remember, so it's just going to be another one of those. It's another catch up. I'm like, do you know exactly what you're talking about? I mean, Wii was designed the way it was. Wii was a perfect GameCube. It's what GameCube should have been from the beginning. The perfect 480p system.
Yeah, I mean,
if you play that game on a TV 27 inches or smaller, it looks as good or maybe better than some of the HD games because that's what it was designed for. 480p.
The Wii wasn't supposed to happen. A lot of people don't realize that. The Wii remote was designed for the GameCube. It was just going to extend the GameCube with the Wii remote, but they changed their mind at the last minute, which is probably smart. But that's why the GameCube or the Wii was the power it was because it was. They built it. They built the Wii remotes for the GameCube, and therefore they had to have a similar power for the Wii to be able to power the GameCube or the Wii remotes.
can I pose a question?
Go ahead, sir.
No, you
Do
can't.
you think it would have made 1 ounce of difference if, like, let's say if Nintendo would have went with an i7 and got NVIDIA to pair an GTX 760 with it? Let's say they made that special APU, i7, GTX 760, 8 gigs of GDR5 memory, all the works, a 1 gig, a 1 terabyte hard drive. I mean, just maxed out the system. Do you think third party would still put their games on it?
No.
Hey,
Hell no. That'll scare me even more.
That's actually my topic. But go ahead.
Let me stop you real quick. Let me tell you what the excuse would change it to then. It would change it to the same excuse it did during the GameCube generation. Nintendo's kitty. That's exactly what it would be. It goes.
That's actually my topic.
It goes.
Okay, guys, let's pull the brakes real quick. Since we're stepping on Mr. T's topic and he's a guest, why don't we hold on for that?
Okay.
And so when he gets,
I didn't know.
It's all right. It's all right. We'll get into it.
the thing is, like I said, we'll start it, but as your topic, since we already covered Nate's original topic, just to be fair. Okay, because remember they already had his topic covered, and then we still have, of course, Fox, Sim, Zen, and Jay. Of course, says he has nothing, but we'll have something. You know how it is. And then Jamie. And me, don't worry about me. I'll just talk along with your guys' topics. But go ahead.
Seriously, I got nothing.
Oh, we going to
Yeah, go ahead. Go along with your point and carry it further.
Okay, well, that was basically, my topic is that no matter what happens, no matter what Nintendo does as far as hardware or whatever, there's always going to be an excuse. Case in point, we'll start where the excuses started with the N64, which was a valid excuse, but I think even if there was no Sony console, that wouldn't have been an excuse. But the storage of the cartridge versus the CD, 600 megabytes on a CD versus 64 megabytes on a cartridge.
Yeah. Even though they had data compression.
Exactly. And you saw stuff like Resident Evil 2 with all the everything still being able to play on the 64 with all the cut scenes and all that. All right, so we'll give them that excuse for Nintendo 64. So let's move on to GameCube. The storage of the medium shouldn't matter because one, you could put multiple discs in. When they say, "Oh, that's the problem, multiple discs," but that isn't a problem for the Xbox 360 now, is it?
Not right now, it isn't.
Exactly. Isn't there a game out right now that uses 2 discs, a really big game?
8 gigs of GTA 5 goodness.
Exactly. So that would
Final Fantasy 13 3 discs.
Oh yeah.
I'll never buy that excuse. I mean, the excuse is the third parties, rightfully so, I guess, they wanted to make more money, and they weren't able to do so because of Nintendo's licensing fees and restrictions and, their Nintendo's way. And Sony came in and it said, y'all can do whatever y'all want. We just want y'all games. And there's a good side of that, but then there's the Atari side of that, because Atari, was very similar, as far as people being able to run rampant on the system too. So I mean that's what are the excuses now? I mean, why do we still have these excuses when they're no longer valid?
Some are asked her over politics. Let's take a look at DMA Designs when they made Body Harvest for the 64, and then they had that whole entire issue where they were not making enough sales and started pitching a bitch. Then when they became Rockstar North, yes, I said it. Here we are, no Grand Theft Auto on the main console. It's okay for a portable, but not the console.
And I have no problem with that argument, but just tell us the truth, because when you do start putting stuff out, you just lose all your credibility. At that point, when it's proven that the system can handle this engine and it can do all this stuff, then why should I believe anything you say? Why should I buy your products?
Let's talk about how the Crytek engine works on the Wii U and all that. We already know this.
Exactly.
But at the end of the day, the stigma's going to stick. Anybody else got anything to say about this subject? Even though, like I said, this is a very well covered subject, but it's always good to get new, fresh input. Go for it.
Well, it's the chicken or the egg. It's the whole situation of, Nintendo doesn't have the audience, blah, 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 or Nintendo doesn't have the online presence, blah, 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 blah. But then you release Game X, which is on all the other platforms, missing a crap load of features as far as online goes. Then you wonder why only 5,000 people were playing online, or only X amount of people bought this game. You still release it because, hey, it doesn't cost any money to port it to Wii last generation. It may cost $200,000 to print discs for the Wii, and then you go ahead and put them out and you sell 1 million copies. So you make money on the Call of Duty version for the Wii, but you don't really give a shit about it because it's just your little money. It's really a chicken or the egg, and unless Nintendo literally says, hey, we will pay to publish this, then it won't appear, and it's kind of sad. You have people like Bethesda who really have no excuse. I mean, as far as there was an ad there was a article I read earlier saying that if the Wii had a hard drive internal, probably, then maybe Bethesda would have did it because they love to have long installs for your games and things of that nature. But even then, the Wii U has enough space inside. I mean, if you have a 25 gig or even an 8 gig, you've got at least 1 or 2 gigs of space in there to put whatever game installs you want in there.
External hard drive. Sorry.
Yeah, or that also. I mean.
Can I touch on what Fox just said?
Go for it.
I don't think the PS4 and Xbox One are next gen enough. I say the PlayStation Vita is more next gen than they are.
I would agree. I mean, what if Valve does announce the Steam box tomorrow and it ends up blowing the specs out of both their systems out of the water?
It will.
Can I present my reasoning behind that statement?
We're listening.
What does the Vita use to be able to play games?
The ARM 9X core.
No. What's the medium?
Touch on the back.
What does your games come on?
The little.
They're digital.
They're digital, and they come on a little. They can come on
cards. It's basically nothing more than an SD card, a mini SSD drive.
Like the DS, basically, their own modified version of them.
Now tell me something. Those got relatively super high read speeds, don't they?
Yeah.
So if PS4 was, instead of having a Blu-ray drive and using disc, was to switch over to the same format they use for the Vita, wouldn't that eliminate the need of a huge hard drive to begin with?
Exactly. USB 2.0 faster than Blu-ray.
Well, people don't. I guess for the consoles, they don't want to go back to the whole situation where it looks like we're using cartridges again, despite the fact that it would be the exact antithesis of that. It wouldn't be, hey, you have this cartridge and you got to plug this big old cartridge in and you're lacking space, because we all know, solid state right now is pretty much the way of the future, is the way people are going right now.
What would your load times be like with a game medium of that sort?
Oh man,
it would basically be the limitation of the bus. literally.
Exactly. So
that
tell
would
me,
basically
is PS4 and Xbox One next gen, or is the Vita more next gen than they are?
you're always going to be bottlenecked by the speed of the drive. You always will be. So, I mean, and there's a couple of games on the Wii you can tell the difference between whether it was installed or whether it was running off the disc or not. Tekken definitely being one of them. So,
It's just an interesting analogy. I just, it kind of went with what you said,
yeah, it's. I mean, I've seen Epic flip flop. I've seen Bethesda flip flop back and forth. I mean, he literally sat next to, one of the Gearbox guys and said that, hey, you have to sit down with us before you make your system, so we know what you're doing or whatever. And they said it doesn't have to be exactly what we want because Sony and Microsoft give us exactly what we wanted, but they told us early. But Gearbox, the first developers to see the Wii U, and he said nothing. He sat there and said nothing.
He said it was that Alien's gonna be the best on the Wii U.
Yeah.
It was the best. It never came out.
That's the definitive version.
Apparently that demo was really good though. Apparently.
Hey, it could have been made by them directly, but they were so scared by the scandal they didn't want to put it out. We don't know. We'll never know. It's no different than what happened with the Crysis 3 situation in the Wii U.
Believe it or not, the footage that was shown for Aliens Colonial Marines did come from the Wii U, and the Wii U version was not being made by Gearbox. It was being made by a separate company. So if Sega had stuck to their guns and went ahead and released the Wii U version, I guarantee you the Wii U version would have made the 360, PS3, and PC version look like chump change.
And you know what the thing is, though? If you think about it, that would be another reason why they wouldn't want to release it, because with all the mess coming on now, then what would be their excuse for not releasing other games?
I'm still upset by that game, man. I'm upset.
Dude, I'm still upset about Rayman Legends. Let's not get started.
I was so hyped for that game, man. Being able to use that tracker, that.
Well, hell, I got it.
Let's be real here. Grand Theft Auto 5 just released to quote-unquote phenomenal record sales. And it is pretty good for 3 days or what have you. $1 billion. So if you add in all the different bundles and all this other kind of crap, all the different pre-order things, it came close to $1 billion. One would assume that was 18 million copies. Obviously, we know it's not that. But even if they sold close to 10 million copies in 1 day or 3 days or whatever, we all know that game is the only game that's close to being the evergreen title on any of those Microsoft or Sony platforms.
That's another thing. How much of that money was spent on advertising?
Yeah, we have that too. Man, so did they really make any money back from that? I mean, there's no way to really tell. They've been advertising that game really, I want to say hardcore. They've been advertising that game for about 9 months.
And if they advertised at the Super Bowl, they lost the grip.
At the Super Bowl, every major NFL, I just got through watching NFL Network and saw another ad. They have it placed in the background on monitors. Is ridiculous. They know what they're doing. They know what their target market is. I mean, every guy that wears one of these with me, that is a regular guy that doesn't talk like we are right now, they know exactly what Grand Theft Auto 5 is. And when I told them, hey, another game I was looking for came out earlier this week, they're like, what is that? My wife went to buy this for me, right?
Oh, so good.
Let me give you a little side story. She went to Toys R Us to buy this, right? She bought this and she bought Modern Warfare 3 for my son on the PlayStation 3. Right?
Irony.
So yeah, the guy at the register, he looks at the Modern Warfare 3. He looks at the Wonderful 101. He's like, "Is this one for your husband?" And she's like, "No, this one is for my husband." And he's like, "What is that?" And so he looked at it and he was like, I don't know, shouldn't that be for the boy or something like that? And I'm like, I'm thinking to myself, really, are you serious? And then once you have the conversation with somebody, they're like, I talked about it with some coworkers at work, and they're like, what is Wonderful 101 or whatever? And I'm like, you remember this game called Bayonetta? They're like, yeah. I said, you remember this game called Beautiful Joe? Yeah. I said, well, imagine if the people that made Beautiful Joe and Bayonetta had a baby. And they took a whole bunch of Beautiful Joes and put them all on the screen like little Pikmin, and they were able to do a whole bunch of combos and fights and things like that. And they're like, that sounds really weird. I said, yeah, but it's from the people that make pretty much one of the most hardcore action games that came out in most recent years. So you say Bayonetta, they kind of turn their head, they kind of pay attention then, but it shouldn't be that way. You know, I mean, it's like, hey, it came out on Wii U. I don't want to hear about it.
You know what? Like I said again, just because something comes out on Wii U, people need to stop pitching a bitch. People need to stop getting so butthurt. Nintendo also needs to unleash the power of all three cores so they can use 2 tablets and bring damn sports back on there so we can call our plays on the daggone pad.
I would love
And
it.
I'm not even a sports fanatic, and I'm saying it.
That's partially Nintendo fault about people not, recognizing the game for what it is. Nintendo, I mean, I haven't really seen any advertisements for Wonderful 101. I don't know about y'all.
No.
They're doing it's all web based now. Like IGN has a lot of ads before they do any of their podcasts or any of their online.
Yeah,
videos.
I've seen a few of those. I just haven't seen television
YouTube.
or anywhere else.
Yeah, we got to save Planet Dirt.
Yeah, they don't really. The last commercial I've seen that was a Blitz market was the cube room thing, and I think the last game was. I don't even think it was New Super Mario Bros. I think
Probably
it was
Lego City.
It probably was Lego City on the cover.
And that was for 3DS. They didn't even have the one for the Wii U one. They were advertising the 3DS.
I saw the Wii U one and the Cube advertisement.
Yeah, but that was just like a quick, sizzle reel advertisement. It wasn't really focused, and that's the problem.
How cheap was that? They probably shot all those commercials in one day.
Probably.
And just put them out when the games came out. I mean,
did anybody see the YouTube video of the European commercial for the Wii U? It was literally a breakdown. It came up and said it did just like this. It said, "This is the Wii U gamepad. This is what makes the Wii U a next generation console."
The comedian, right?
And then they said, and he's like, "I can play the game. My wife complains about watching TV. I can play the game while she's watching TV. Things of that nature. I can do multimedia without leaving the game. I can be in the middle of a game, leave, go to GameFAQs, go back to the game, and I'm better."
Or YouTube.
Or YouTube. Anything. Like those things right there automatically. Those are 2 glaring things that Nintendo should have from Jump Street should have been talking about.
And their partnership with Video will prove, Video is going to prove one thing, that they're going to be able to integrate things that we won't even expect to see coming. Because see how we're right now able to do screen sharing and everything here on Google Hangouts? That's based on Video, the same exact technology behind the vid chat over there on the Wii U. So like I said, it's coming.
Yeah, Nintendo always has surprises, blockbuster surprises, stuff you don't see coming. That's why, that's one of the reasons I'm such a fan, because they, once in a while they'll drop some crazy stuff like, whoa, where did that come from? Wii Fit, where did that come from? I mean, it's crazy.
I'm getting Wii Fit. I don't care what anybody says, because I'm kind of chunky.
I got Wii Fit. I'm getting Wii Fit. You too?
I need to lose that weight. You know what I'm saying? I'm kind of chunky, man. I'm kind of big, so I look like a burly Santa almost. But like I said, though, all in all, Nintendo's a good, solid console, and just like the other two, they have their things that are good. But the thing is this: if they're too busy mirroring each other and don't bring something fresh, we're gonna have a problem this generation, and it's gonna be a severe drought of, innovation. People think innovation is adding RAM. No, it's not. For a person, there's a certain person on YouTube who thinks adding more RAM is innovative, and time again, I'm gonna tell this person, I don't care how mad, how much of an attitude, whether he wants to call me a fraud, hint, hint, all he wants. The bottom line is this: adding RAM does not create innovation. Adding gameplay, mechanics, story, stuff like that does.
What about the graphics processor?
Well, it doesn't matter because
we're just gonna end up in the bit wars again,
Dude, I was just fucking around.
No. Let me go ahead and talk about this too, because everybody wants to talk about the whole RAM thing. All you really need is enough to draw the current picture per frame. That's all you really need. And currently, right now, 64 megabytes is more than enough. 32 megs can draw 1080p on this screen right here. At one frame at a time.
Like Dr. Trey right there.
No, I'm
actually
16 is enough actually for 1080p. 16.
Just over 10, yeah. And that'll do 1080p at 60 frames a second.
Fox.
Yes.
the system RAM has nothing to do with the rendering of the graphics, all right?
Correct.
Right,
Not in this architecture
The
at all.
Wii U
In Wii U's
and
architecture is the
Wii U
ERAM.
and the Xbox One have exactly the same amount of what's called ED RAM, okay?
Correct.
And that is what's used to render the game, all right?
Frame buffer.
Correct. That's my point. That's my point. So adding more RAM really it makes no sense with these systems at all. Perhaps maybe the PS4, but even then it doesn't matter because they're all 1080p systems. They're not strong enough to do anything
They're
higher.
4K
Xbox
capable.
One is struggling with 900p, 1600 by 900.
Yeah, at launch, but then if you look at the PlayStation 3 over the years, 3D 720p at 30 frames, who would have thought they would have pulled that off on an 8800 GT?
That's true. But you know, the thing is with that, I'm going to tell you like this. People keep going resolution, and I had this conversation with Nate. They don't think about one thing versus there's resolution, and then there's polygon count.
Okay, so if I can play Doom on a 4K TV, does that mean my fucking my hardware is powerful? No, it fucking does. It's about the game. You know, people moaning about Battlefield and Killzone running at 30 frames. They're quite demanding titles, actually.
That's true.
Yeah, but you know, like I said, optimization for consoles being what it is.
Yeah, I mean, it does mean that if you could play Doom or quote-unquote Minecraft in 8K or what have you, just means you currently have enough RAM or enough frame buffer, if you will, to draw it per frame.
Listen, that's
But
not...
if you run in a system
Bro,
that
that's
has
not what I
three-
was saying. I'm saying it depends
No, I
on the
get what you're
fucking
saying.
game title, bro. Like, I was making a solid point by bringing a game like Doom in, because that game doesn't require fuck all.
Yeah,
I was
I get
saying
what you're
that
saying.
it's not about what it can support. It's about the type of game and how it's like the whole benchmarking thing. It's like if I run Tomb Raider at 1600 by 900, my frames will go from say 60 to about 85. That's correct, isn't it, Nate?
Then we're
if I
making
go
the
1080p
same.
native, it'll bring it all the way down because it's it's a lot more demanding to keep at that frame and to also hold the resolution with VSync off.
Yes, we're on the same page. All I'm saying is if you say, hey, I can play Minecraft in 8K, then yeah, you basically are overkill right now. You have enough RAM to display 8K, and you're using a really low resolution game or a non-demanding game to do so.
Yeah.
Which would be the NBA 2K games for back in the day for the PS3 and things of that nature. Hey, we can do 1080p on this downloadable title, so therefore we're a 1080p system.
Polygon count trumps the resolution.
But
But doesn't the emphasis of RAM have more to do with the taxing operating systems these consoles are running?
Yeah, but the thing is, you got to understand something too. The system's cache also comes into play when it comes to that, and if you don't know how to code to take advantage of the cache as well, you're going to depend a lot. You're going to depend a lot more on the system's memory, which is slower overall.
Or if you're too lazy to code, that's
pretty much it.
It's all middleware. It's all middleware at this point.
Mm-hmm.
It's what middleware can work.
What's on my screen right now?
Yeah. Go for it.
SD.
hold on. It's still all right. Yeah.
Look at that.
What's that?
Aliens Colonial Marines on PC, and it is beautiful on the PC.
Oh man, don't show me that game.
Switch.
Because you don't know how much of an Aliens fanboy I am, and
that could be the Wii U version.
Waiting for this game. I think one of the
It's
reasons
all about
I was
Aliens
really hyped
trilogy
about the
on
Wii U.
PlayStation 1.
It just hurts my heart.
You know, I might get it for PC only because I know it'll end up for $5 in the Steam sale.
Hey, if you've got a gaming PC that can handle this game, it is great on the PC.
Yeah, I wouldn't touch it on console. That's ridiculous.
Dude, I'm still butthurt over Dead Island 2, a.k.a. Riptide, and I'm not even that big of a Dead Island fan. I just didn't like the fact that they snubbed the Wii U for a dumb reason. And I got Dead Island on PC. I clocked in a lot of hours on that game because it's fun, mindless fun, you know what I'm saying? About as mindless as the creatures you're hunting.
Yeah.
I'm still hopeful they'll bring Aliens, like an alien game on the Wii U. Yeah, some of the future. I don't know. Yeah, I'm still hopeful.
I'm kind of with you on that, Zim. I'm holding out hope. Somebody
keep hope alive.
Yo, guy from the UK. Where are you from?
What's that?
Where are you from? From London. Where are you from?
I'm based southwest. Over the bridge, Stratton Way.
All right, I'm from Bermondsey and that Peckham and that.
Okay.
Yeah, I grew up mostly in Abbey Wood, like on the edge of Kent, near London. But yeah.
Okay. All right, man. I see.
Okay,
No.
how close is that to Cardiff?
Bro, Cardiff is a T&a-half journey, mate.
Exactly.
You go
You know
there.
why I'm asking, right? I want to know if you've seen any police boxes around there.
Hey Tim, I got your book yesterday. I just want you to know I got your book.
Really?
Came in yesterday. Almost got ruined. It almost got ruined because they left it out on the porch and it rained and I ain't know nothing about it. But luckily, them fools, man. I'm telling you, them fools. But, luckily the cardboard protected it. It was okay. So.
Oh, good man, good man. Oh man, appreciate it, man. That's appreciate it, man. Bless you.
Yeah, man.
I'm gonna have to get
Good
a
work,
signed
man.
book
Good
from
work.
him. I want to get a signed book from you.
Yeah, man. Do that. No, don't worry. I'll do that. I'll do that.
I want to get a signed book one day from you. That way, you know, I could say that when you come big, I'll be like this. Look, I knew this guy. We was doing podcasts. You know what I'm saying?
Don't worry, I got you. Don't worry, I got you, all of you, man. Don't worry.
Oh, by the way, guess what, guys? I'll be doing a freestyle on one of the tracks of my son's song. And if you don't believe I can freestyle, all I gotta say is ask Nate. He heard me a couple of times, and I had a few down.
All right, Nate. Nate, is he good?
Would you think I'm all right freestyling?
Oh hell yeah, you're awesome.
I keep things a secret about myself.
Can I touch on something? This goes along with what Fox's original thing was, all right? And it take me just a second. I just want to show something real quick, all right? So, y'all keep talking a minute. Let me get it set up. I'm gonna wait.
What's in it? I ain't heard Zen in a minute.
Zen.
Let Zen talk. I'll touch on it towards the end of the podcast.
Yes. Well, you want to give a question? Yeah.
All right. We were talking about who was it? Fox was talking about Grand Theft Auto 5's launch numbers and what they made, the 800 million and all that.
Yeah.
What do you guys think about Peter Molyneux's statements concerning Grand Theft Auto 5 and what he had to say?
Now I missed that, so recap that. I missed that.
Okay.
Are you talking about the Fable guy?
He's a fool.
Yeah, the Fable guy. Yeah.
He's a damn fool.
Yeah,
Literally a Fable.
He is. But anyway, let me recap here. So he was at some phone game convention over the weekend or during last week, and somebody asked him what he thought about Grand Theft Auto 5's launch numbers, what he thought about making that amount of money within 72 hours. And he had to say it's not impressive. He then went on to say that having a phone game in the mobile game industry, making $3 million to $5 million a day is impressive, but making 800 million allegedly within 72 hours is not impressive. So I already brought that to my subscribers. I already brought it to them. They had their piece to say. What do you guys think?
I see his point. Let me go ahead and touch on that right now. That's
He's
the
a
whole.
fool.
That's the evergreen argument again. But the only people that have been successful at that is Nintendo and a handful of Sony games. On the iOS market, it's possible with some weird things like draw something and some other things like that. But it's so random. There's no way to really. That's such a dangerous market.
That bubble is gonna burst. I'm sorry. That bubble is gonna burst.
You never know. Like you bet the farm on something, and you're hoping that this little iOS game or this little Android game garners enough sales, enough $1 sales a day to garner you 1 million sales each day. That's not.
Buy the license back for black and white and make that one for iOS, and you will sell a bunch. How about that?
You see, this is what I think about this guy. Okay, he might have a point with the whole evergreen argument and all that, but Peter Molyneux has never, and I mean never, had that amount of success over the course of his entire career.
I was just about to say that. When did he ever care about sales?
Well, I just view it as being sour grapes. Dude can't do it, so.
The man had a badass franchise that he abandoned, though. He abandoned black and white, and I'm going to say it again. If he would sit up here and would have done something with black and white, that would have been a badass franchise. You remember that one, right? The RTS/God Sim?
Yep. Love that game.
Oh, my God, and the AI in that was ridiculously funny.
Wasn't BC Council? That was basically the black and white in the past.
Yeah, but check this out. Before you go real quick, I'm going to give you a little anecdote about that game and then give you an idea why he should have bought the franchise and took it to iOS. I tried to train my tiger one day to take care of my crops and everything. So what does he do? He casts rain on my people. So I smacked him. So guess what he does? He takes a dump proceeds to sit up here and light it on fire, chucks it at my storage bin.
That game crazy.
Yo, stuff like that would happen. Outrageous. And of course I smacked him again, then he proceeded to eat a villager, and then I had to smack the holy piss out of him.
Yo,
You know,
yo, guys,
Everything he do, everything Molyneux do, he talks it up. So
Yep.
he working on Fable, it's the greatest thing ever, and nothing else can touch it. And now that he's doing mobile, it's the greatest thing ever. Nothing else can touch it. I mean, that's just
He's going to
his
do
ego.
porn
That's
next,
his
and
ego.
that's going to be the greatest thing, and nobody can. Never mind.
Right. And whatever he do next will be the greatest thing ever.
Yo, T, Fable 2 was supposed to change the world,
Let's
man.
change the world. Exactly. I mean, my world's
And,
still the same. I don't know about you.
Hey, can I say something real quick?
Go for it.
It's in the background back here, and it had very little hype beforehand because nobody knew about it. But this little guy right here, it didn't really have
Screen
too much
glare
advertising until right after it came out. But I think everybody know where that game stands.
Put it again.
as
Put it
far
again
as-
because you have screen glare.
I can't see it. I can't see your screen.
Oh, there we go.
Anybody know what that is right there?
Oh, yeah.
I can't see it.
I think it's highly
I can't
regarded.
see it.
Click on his screen.
I click on it and it jumps away. I don't know what's going on.
This little girl here in this little suit.
I see
know-
him for like 2 seconds and then it
Yeah,
goes.
because good old iPad is doing what it's doing right now. But yeah, little Samus here, her little third adventure, tended to be quite popular to a lot of reviewers out there. And yeah, I won't say it was the most overhyped, or I won't say that anybody came on stage, Shigeru Miyamoto or anybody else, or Gunpei Yokoi just said, "Hey, this is going to be the greatest thing ever."
Her boobs get bust out through her armor.
I think they're pretty humble making this, especially
You know-
considering that they do good in Japan.
That's
Right.
the difference between the Western developers and the Eastern developers. Western guys, they love to talk themselves up. They're the hottest things since sliced bread. Eastern guys, they let their product speak for them, and that's the major difference.
That's why I love Eastern. But one more thing I gotta say, and one subject I want to touch on again, and I've done this plenty of times, but this is a very important topic, and it needs to be restated. Why is it that people keep championing all these different types of platforms in order to bash each other instead of playing their damn games?
Exactly.
You know, I wonder about that.
But what is your gamer scope?
I love going into a store and being able to buy a game. I don't like somebody saying, "Hey, what system do you have?" Or I need to know what kind of system you have so I can tell you what kind of game you need to play. And I just say, I want to play everything.
There you
They're
go.
like, well, this is only on this system. I want it. Well, this is only on this system. I want it. Well, this is only on this Nintendo system. I
want it. And one more thing, don't get me started on the 3DS. I remember when I first got my 3DS, because I'm one of the ones that are one of the guys who are what they call them, ambassadors.
You an ambassador too?
I'm an ambassador.
So am I. So am I.
You got free shit.
People were pointing and laughing at me for having a 3DS instead of a Vita, and look at it now.
Me too.
They were pointing and laughing, getting their ha-has on. It was like, yo, yeah, exposed. Back in my old days when I used to do voices and troll people. Oops, secret's out. Yeah, I had other accounts, and Nate knows a little bit, but not all the details.
Why don't people learn from history?
You know why?
It happened with the DS.
You never learn.
Dude, listen. King Solomon said it best. There's nothing new under the sun.
Nothing at all.
Nothing new.
People want to say the situation was different, that the 3DS had no competition. I'm like, weren't you just saying the 3DS had competition for mobile platform? Now they ain't had no competition.
It launched.
Dude,
Like,
you know that
how much competition did the 3DS have? I mean, it had a lot.
Yes.
It-
iOS. They said
iOS. It had iOS. It had Android. So how did it not have any competition? It's not the same.
You got people saying that mobile gaming is going to take PlayStation 4 and Xbox One. These
Yeah, right.
people that say this are living in a fantasy world.
Not gonna happen.
And it's
Yeah, you know, I've heard Sexy Coco say. I mean, I heard somebody say that before.
Fantasy world,
He says it a lot. I think he's getting paid or something to say that. I don't know.
I know. Brought to you by
They've been
April
saying
Life
it
Your
since
Pudding.
2007. It's not. Nothing's changed.
not gonna
and
happen.
nothing's
Hey guys, I got it set up and ready to go now. I just want to show something real quick
Do that.
because this goes with what Fox was bringing up, about specs and everything. You notice how everybody's saying that the games that are coming to PS4 and Xbox One can't be done on Wii U because they run in DirectX 11? I want to show something real quick and then ask a question. What the hell does DirectX 11 got to do with a damn bit of anything? Everybody have my screen on your. Click on my name and have it where you can see it because I'm going to show you something. All right. First, this is Battlefield 3. Everything maxed out on PC, running full DX11. Okay.
Nice.
See how clean and crisp it is. How good it looks.
Yes, sir.
All right. I'm gonna wait till he gets outside. You can see the weather effects. Then I'm gonna pause it. And I'm going to switch over to the PlayStation 3, which I have sitting on the same stage, same setup, and then we're going to see, does it pretty much look the same?
Only if you pixel count, it doesn't. It looks the same. If you pixel count, if you're up there with a jeweler's loaf,
what does DirectX 11 have to do with anything when it comes to the actual rendered graphics?
It's a higher number than 10.
It's a buzzword.
It's higher than 10. See?
Yeah, there you go. It's a buzzword for people who don't know jack what an API is.
No.
What middleware is.
Hold on. I know what it is. It's an Activision line. You know, DX11.
All right, that was PC right there. All right. Now I'm going to switch over to my PlayStation 3, and I'm going to hit start.
This is probably really the PC version. I'm joking.
Just got raised to alert 1.
Damn, does it not look the same pretty much?
Well, yeah, except for you can see it's a lower resolution slightly, not by much, but you have to be a pixel hunter to notice.
No, I saw a Jag on that pipe back there.
Yeah. Yeah, one Jaggy. Oh my God, that Jaggy.
Wait till it gets outside with the weather effects, okay?
Where's the translation at?
We need Backblind needs to say this is
yeah, Black Bond, we need him in here to sit up here and criticize
You're all
this
so
person.
rejects. I live in my attic. My attic has a perfect angle.
Wait, no V-Sync. You saw that, right?
No.
No, Quad, you don't want him in this podcast, man. You don't have 6 hours.
Just wait till you get
I still
outside.
make fun of him. He makes fun of me, so why not?
It's only V-Sync if it's on
Console
this.
drones.
Oh, Lord.
Dear God.
Even though I'm a computer tech over here by trade, even in the
Did you
military,
know that
I did PCs,
I
but
got
whatever.
pussy by saying I have an i5?
Oh, Lord. All you got is a 5.
Bang, bang.
Oh,
You know,
Lord.
as we're on the topic of that fool, does anybody know? Did anybody see that last video you put up? The ridiculous video you put up about graphic cores?
Oh,
Oh man!
Did anyone see that?
I saw Dre's thing. Oh, that was hilarious.
Well,
That
that's
was
the reason
embarrassing.
I saw it. That's the reason I saw it. I mean,
Yeah.
Trey said nothing and owned the man.
Yeah.
Hold
He
on,
owned
what
himself.
you on about?
A guy who puts on Tecmo Bowl, a guy who could put on Joe Montana football, a guy who puts on things like the classic Mega Man is talking about he's a graphics whore. Yes.
Well, he said
okay.
if you got an HD TV and you don't watch it in
graphics
SD, that means you're a graphics whore. I'm like, what?
Yeah,
It's all music
I
what
was
you
talking
paid
about
for.
me then. I was like, what? I'm the guy saying that GTA 5 is fine on console.
My argument is HD TV is standard def. It's everybody's standard.
Thank
right now.
you.
That's my argument.
Let's talk 4K. No.
Or
Yo.
let's be more
HD is just a buzzword for selling TVs. I mean, that's all it is. It's a
more
buzzword.
literal. Let's
Yo,
be more
I can
literal.
feel.
Let's all buy cars yet walk.
I can like,
There we go. There you go.
I could
You were
literally.
driving hope.
You
just
know,
driving
hey,
hope.
dude. For all you military, whoever was in the military, let's buy cars just to do a PMCS check.
There you go.
Preventive maintenance check and services. That's all you do in the car. Because remember, we tweak settings. That's all we do. We don't play the games. We show off our settings in videos.
Yeah.
Hey, Fox.
Yes.
I just want to ask you: Does my demonstration now show that people like Square Enix that says that the Wii U couldn't do the new Final Fantasy engine, and all these other people that say that just because it's DirectX 11 based, the Wii U can't show it? Does that
All
not
that
just
means-
put them in their place?
This is what it means. It means that they wrote a specific engine, right, to handle DX11, those calls. And the only thing DX11 does is give advanced tessellation. And if you have a console, you can write directly to the metal for the tessellator that's on that system. So it doesn't really matter.
There was
So-
tessellation on the GameCube. What's up?
Yes, and there's a dedicated tesslator on the Xbox 360 and on the Wii U, right?
So and it's so sad is that Black Forest Games has already come out and said that the Wii U is fully DirectX 11 compliant.
If it truly is, if there truly is a modified E6760 in there, it is.
You know the thing is,
it's Turk's architecture, but it is.
You know what the thing is?
Really
real quick, wait, real quick. Hold on. Put the brakes on. Just a quick second. One thing I gotta say for sure concerning the DirectX 11 thing, and I'm gonna say it again. All X11 is an API for Windows.
Yes, it doesn't matter for Nintendo.
You take OpenCL equivalent. You take an OpenCL equivalent, and that makes the whole DirectX 11 argument moot.
Pretty much.
So you know what? For all these people shouting DirectX 11, odds are they don't even know what the hell DirectX 11 really is.
Don't even know.
That only applies to the PC and Xbox.
Thank you.
Right.
And there you go. That solves that argument right there. That eliminates all the bull crap. If people come back and shout that again, it's because they don't know what it is.
And again, I'll say, I don't mind that you don't want to put your game on Wii U. Just say that. Don't give me this bull crap.
That's how I feel about it. Just say, for whatever reason you don't want to do it, whatever fanboyish reason or whatever monetary reason.
Right.
Don't
Say
do it.
If the money's not there, to say that. Don't tell me it can't handle it, because that just makes, you're making the system look bad. You're making Nintendo look bad, and that's not right.
Does anybody remember when Shane Satterfield interviewed Cliffy B about 4 years ago? Back in 2009, he basically made him admit everything. And Cliffy B came down to it. He kept asking over and over again why Unreal 3 wasn't on the Wii and why they weren't going to put it there. They literally said, we're not going to put any games on that platform because we can't compete with Nintendo. That's Nintendo. He admitted it.
And I can accept that. That's refreshing.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yo, guys, I gotta go. It's really late here, and I've got class in a few hours.
That's cool.
Yeah,
Listen,
thanks for inviting me and stuff. I'll definitely turn up.
Wait, stop, real quick. Do your sign off before you go. That way everybody can hear your goodbye. So that when we say our sign off, you're not left out.
Okay.
Go for it.
Alright, guys. It was really nice being in this podcast with these glorious gamers who they are actual gamers. They have solid Nintendo points, and I do kind of agree with them on a lot of these developers not being honest and just sticking with the crowd, as they call it. But yeah, if you guys want to check out my channel, feel free to do it. I'm not just saying that to advertise. I upload
shameless advertising. Go for it.
No, pretty unique videos. I play old and new games. Anyway, guys, thanks for having me here, and I hope you guys enjoy the rest of the chat.
Yeah, cool.
Right.
Catch up soon, brother, yeah?
Alright, see you, man.
Yeah, peace.
Like I said, though, one thing about me you're going to learn. With this podcast, Jamie, Jay, and Nate and I, we believe in one thing. Everybody's on an equal playing field. You could be Rich or Review Tech. You could be Joe Blow in the corner. You could be anybody. You're going to get equal treatment here.
Unless you're Black Bond.
No. Even Black Bond. If Black Bond, listen, watch this. I dare to say this. If Black Bond can come here without trolling, without being smug,
never.
I would allow him.
I've seen him do it before, though. I've seen him do it before on a Skype call. I've seen him do it before.
Have he?
If he can manage not to be smug.
He can.
Why do you want to do that?
He can't help himself.
I mean, he can. What's the
because one of your videos you just put out, you had to turn stuff down on Tomb Raider. Guess what? Average 59.9. That's 60 frames set V-synced, 60 frames per second. Everything maxed out. Tress FX on. Kiss it. My PC what's yours?
Watch this. Real quick question. Anybody else think Lara Croft looks way better now than in the past?
Agreed.
Yep.
Oh my God, yes. There you go.
I actually like the old Lara Croft. That's just me, though.
Yeah, I know why. I can name 2 reasons why.
Why is that?
2 reasons. Matter of fact.
Oh, okay, I get you. That's not why, but okay.
All right. Well, listen, hold up, guys. Since we got overtime a little bit, why don't we just wrap this up until next week? Whatever you guys got going on, because we're at 18 after right now. I try to keep these podcasts generally about 45 minutes to an hour. We don't want to really bore the guys, with us chit-chatting. I know it's fun, but it's always good to try to like work ourselves to the attention span of the audience. So
you can't get enough of Mr. T. So I don't know.
Oh, well, that's true. But then again, I could always visit your channel. Mr. T, I can sit here and visit you, fools. All right, so we're going to wrap it up, and we're going to wrap it up for next week and continue on from there. We're going to do our sign-off starting with the Zen Gamer.
All right, guys. I was late today, but hey, you know what? When you get a life, you know, stuff happens. But thank you for having me once again, people. It was a blast yet again. Check out my channel as the Zen Gamer Zone. I'm the Zen Gamer, the one and only. Peace out.
Peace. And now up next is going to be one of my co-hosts here, Mr. Butterworth.
All right, this is Jamie Butterworth signing out. Check out on Amazon.com my book Superpowered. It's actually free on Sunday and Monday. Go snatch a copy of it. Read it up. Give it a review. Also, you'll actually see the occasional review from me on PlayWrestlings.com too. So I'm in contact with Francis on that. But
Francis don't like me. Yeah, I went there.
Well, just go check out my stuff. I'm a good writer. Me write good.
Will too.
Him write good.
Okay.
Now we're going to go over here with the Fox Man. Go ahead, Fox Man. Drop that science.
Man, I'm Shadow Fox, also known as The Real Shadow Fox on YouTube and everywhere else. You can find me at purevideogames.net with my co-moderator, Xantar. Actually, he really owns the site. But, yeah, that's pretty much it. Peace out. And my new sign out will be, do you play games for fun or to impress other people?
There you go. And now, here we go. We're going to sit up here and first give Jay a break because he hardly has a chance to talk. We're going to let this fools over here sit up here and say sign off. All right, fools? Go ahead, fools.
Huh?
Go ahead, fools. Now, people are like, wait a minute. Hold on. What the hell?
Damn, there's two Mr. T's in there.
M-I-C-Z-A-H. No, go ahead.
That one sounded a little bit more like Fat Albert then.
Well, I am kind of chunky. Go ahead, man.
All right, this is Goku, aka Kakarot, signing off. Had a blast tonight. Looking forward to the next episode. Peace.
There we go. And now we're gonna go with Mr. T. Mr. T, B.A. Baracus, you know what I'm saying? Clubber Lang. Go ahead, do your thing.
Hey there, folks. All right, I want to thank y'all for allowing me to join y'all wonderful podcast. It's my first podcast, so it was very fun, very interesting. As always, you can catch me on my YouTube channel, Mr. T. Next week should be a pretty busy week for me. I got a lot of videos lined up, so make sure you check me out. And thanks for having me.
No problem. Anytime, man. Anytime. Trust me, it was awesome. And the banner creator extraordinaire is up next. You already know who you are.
That me?
Yes, sir.
Oh, bless you. No, well, thank you for having me. Again, first time coming here. It's just good to kind of like obviously speak and listen on what other gamers want to speak about and talk about. And my channel SimZim UK. Beginning of things to come. I mean, hopefully, as I said, I'll hopefully put more material out. I'm just new at starting at the moment, so getting used to the whole YouTube thing. And like Mr. T said, I've got a book. I've got a book out. Thank you, Mr. T, for purchasing it. Bless you, man.
Oh, no problem.
And
I want a signed copy.
Yeah, you will do, man. Definitely. And do look at that. My site, check it out. And but till next time. And appreciate it. Okay,
and then we got our boy Nate. Gamer Nate 78, aka Nate Tall, aka Children of the N, aka I'll punch you in the throat if you come near my truck.
Don't touch my truck.
I just want to say one last thing to all my subs and all my friends. If you see the screen right here, I'm a primary PC gamer first. Maybe people just didn't realize that. That Nintendo was my secondary system. You look at all the games I've got just in Steam alone. I got a crap ton, and I play them all. So I'm still going to cover my Nintendo news. I'm still going to be a fan of the Wii U. Still going to do everything and debate the haters and make them look like idiots. So this has been Gamer Nate 78. I'm going to keep it straight. Whatever's clever, as Mr. Quan says, or as my friend the white one, the one white kind wants me to do it. Bada bing, bada boom, baby.
There we go. And of course, it's your humble host here, Quan Mantu, aka Quan, aka QMC, whatever you want to call me any day of the week. Okay, I've been known as also Otto the Golden and even Knowledge, N-O-L-E-J, in other circles. So yeah, anywho. This has been me sitting up here and basically saying goodbye to everybody here. And for those of you who speak Spanish, despidiéndome a toda la gente que estaba aquí participando aquí, viendo este podcast. Saludo a todos ustedes y me despido de ustedes. Anyway, back in English, just to let y'all know.
Right here.
Just to let y'all know, keeping it straight up real. I'm going to be up with my boys here next week. Possibly we're going to bring some girls so it don't look like a full-blown sausage fest so we can have equal opinions. Remember, one woman's opinion is equal to 5 men's. So as long as we get 2 chicks on here, it's an equal opinion because we got to shut up when they talk. That's the rule, my friends. But now that we got that all squared away, as I always say, my people, whatever's clever, we're out.